Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, it's Sian. So today I am going to be covering what happened on our holiday. So, as most of you guys know, me and Andy went on holiday to Kefalonia in Greece, and it was the most amazing holiday I could have ever wished for my birthday. It was absolutely amazing. So on Tuesday, so the second official day that we were there, we had already rented out a moped on the Monday, and we rented it for the whole week. On the Tuesday, we decided to get up early and go to Fiscado, which is at the top of the island. We were at the south. It was about two and a half hour journey, but we wanted to stop at some places along the way and just see the sights, basically. About an hour into our travelling, that we came to a junction, and we saw that the sign said Myrtos Beach, and Myrtos is meant to be one of the most beautiful beaches in Greece. It's meant to be absolutely amazing, and we were umming and ahhing for quite a while, and then we're like, oh, forget it, why don't we go down it? So we obviously turned down to Myrtos Beach. On our way down, it suddenly became really steep, like more than we thought. So Andy slowed down, because obviously Andy's got a bike licence, I don't, and there was a very sharp right turn, so we went around the right turn, and then immediately after that right turn there was a very sharp left turn. That is where there was sand covering the road. So the front tyre slipped underneath pretty much the bike and we went flying. Andy dumped the bike because that's what he's been sort of trained in his mind to do as he raced motocross, and he had a full bike licence on a Harley Davidson for years. So he dropped the bike, I fell onto his back, and we slid along the tarmac. It all happened very quick. I was just in shock. I remember then being sort of thrown from his body and onto the other side of the road. So here's what actually happened as we fell. When Andy dumped the bike, he pinned his ankle to the ground, and as we were sliding along, the skin in his ankle just rubbed away. Like it was a friction burn, it just cleared it away. And so yeah, it wore him down to the bone in the end. The reason I flew off of him is because the bone in his ankle gripped the tarmac, and later we found out that he actually had 2 fractures in his ankle bone, and that was where he gripped the tarmac. I flew onto the other side of the road. We both were wearing helmets, but it was a 36-degree heat country, so not many people were wearing leathers, and you know, there's no point anyone lecturing us because we understand that now. But it's one of them things, like, you're in a foreign country. I mean, no one was even wearing helmets, tourists or locals. We were pretty much the only ones wearing helmets, so I really am grateful that we were. I put my arm out instinctively and then rolled and tumbled and slid, and yeah, so that was fun. So yeah, I was pretty shaken up, and Andy was running around off, like literally as soon as he stopped rolling and sliding, he was getting the bike up, putting it to the side. He kept saying to me, please get up, and I was just in shock. I just kept saying, oh my god, we've just crashed, like, oh my god. And yeah, luckily there was a couple that came down the road, and they went down to Myrtos in their car and asked and see if they could get anyone to help. I also had another couple who sprayed some powder on it, which was meant to stop bleeding, and it was an antibiotic. Didn't stop the bleeding, made it worse, but it was an antibiotic, so we were thankful for that. Then as we were sort of coming to, like, I was stinging. I had quite a deep hole in my wrist, grazes down my toes, and on my knee was quite bad, and all along my arm. Andy was wandering around, literally panicking. He was like, your dad's never going to let me go near you again. I'm meant to be looking after you. And then I caught sight of his ankle as he was walking around, and I could see the bone and ligament moving, and the skin was staying still, and every step he took I could see what was going on underneath his skin. That kind of made my heart drop, and it makes me a little bit emotional thinking about it. So I was like, okay, we're all right, until I saw his ankle, and I was like, we need a doctor, we need to go to hospital. Luckily this Austrian woman, and I don't know her name, but we're forever grateful to her, she drove us to hospital and waited 2 hours while we got seen to by doctors, and she also paid for our prescriptions and then drove us back to the bike. Didn't want any money, she said it was just her service as a human being, so we thank that lady, whoever you are. Then Andy decided to drive the bike 2 hours home. That was scary. And I kept looking over at Andy and his shoe was filling up with blood, and I was like, what would happen if he died of blood loss? Like, that's the only thing that went through my mind. This is after we received hospital treatment, by the way. When we got back to the hotel, the porter saw us bleeding, and he called the hotel owner, who had the doctor on the phone for us, and he came around and saw us. And I remember Andy was walking around our hotel room leaving bloody footprints everywhere, so it looked like I had murdered someone. And there were just like footprints of blood go all throughout of our hotel room. It was horrendous. But yeah, the doctor said to us, we're very, very lucky to be alive. About 60 Greeks die a year down that piece of road, what people are saying, and they know the roads. And if we had gone another 5 meters, we both would have gone off cliff edges. We would have tumbled to our death probably, or we would be very badly hurt and no one would know because we'd be down a cliff. So that's kind of scary when you think about it. Fast forward, this has been 9-10 weeks since the accident now. We had a lot of different sort of treatment in Greece. We racked up about 10,000 euros worth of treatment. Luckily our e-hit cards covered that. This was before we came out of the European Union, even though I know it's valid for 2 years. So we had a lot of treatment. I'm not going to go into detail what the treatment was and what we had to do. That's a whole nother video. I will be here for like an hour if I tell you all the nitty-gritty details. That was the day before my birthday. We were trying to get an early flight home, but we weren't allowed to. We weren't fit to fly because there was risk of both of us bleeding on the plane. And obviously once you start bleeding, you can't stop sometimes. So we had to wait until our actual fly day home, which was Sunday. We got home and we were just exhausted. Like, we kept each other so strong, and Andy kept me so strong, and I was just a little bit of a mess, and I still kind of am. And he's just been my absolute rock. He's been so unbelievably wonderful throughout all of this, and I couldn't thank him enough. And yeah, so Andy, fast forward, has had 2 operations on his ankle to repair the skin, and he's had a skin graft because there was so much skin missing. I have had infections in all of my wounds, and now I have just been to consultants, and I'm scarred for life because I scar a certain way. I have hypertrophic and keloid scars, which do not go. There's been talk about like laser treatment and things like that, but because of the way I scar, I will be curing scars with scars. So I'm scarred for life, and I will show you all my wounds and things in a minute. And Andy's getting there for healing time. He's back to work and things like that. I can't work at the moment. I can't drive. I need to have extensive physio on my knee and my wrist, and I potentially need an operation on my knee 6 weeks down the line. We're still deciding what to do with it because I have a weird knee now. But yeah, so now I'm going to show you the graphic details. If you do not want to see them, if you're not good with blood or anything like that, please click off this video. I do not want you to see this if you don't want to, because I kind of struggle looking back on it too. This is the day we crashed. This is what mine and Andy's wounds looked like. And this was about an hour or 2 afterwards back in our hotel room. This was after we received hospital treatment, by the way. So this is my elbow. This is my knee. This is my toe, and as you can see there's a bit of a hole in the toe, and as you can see in the arm photo my wrist was covered because it was quite a big hole. This is Andy's wound. So this was Andy's leg after hospital treatment. As you can see, his ankle is bandaged and there was still a lot of blood coming out despite it being bandaged. I'm going to just skip to what it kind of looked like. So this is the timeline of Andy's ankle. This is from it being done to me cleaning it out, to us getting back to England, to his foot having a pump on it to encourage growth of flesh, as well as him having a skin graft and then his skin graft healing. I don't actually have a picture of his ankle now, but the whole scab has come off of his ankle. There's a tiny little bit left and it's just purple skin. It's all healed. It looks relatively normal, despite the fact he's got purple skin around there, but that's just where it's healing and blood's getting back into it. So that was his ankle. This was my wrist, and as you can see in the middle photos, it looks quite gunky, and that's because it was infected. And then that's it going to healing up quite nicely. My knee was infected as well as my toe, so they were in quite a bad way. So now I'm just going to show you what my wrist and things look like now. So this is my elbow. As you can see, I've got pink scars all around here, and that's fine. That's just what grazers do. This is my wrist. You guys can see. I have a thing called a hypersensitive wound, which basically makes it feel like I'm in a lot of pain with it, even though there's nothing clinically wrong with it. So even if I touch it very, very lightly, it feels like someone's stabbing me in the wrist. But it's something that I have to learn to deal with, because it's probably going to stay there for quite a long time, probably the rest of my life. It's just something that I'm going to learn to deal with through physio. This is my toe, which is going to be really awkward to show because I need to like back it up. So that is a keloid scar on my toe. I did have some grazes there, but that's the worst one. This is so awkward to try and show you. So yeah, that is my toe. And my knee, if I can try and roll my leggings up. Gimme a min. This was probably the worst idea because it's going to really hurt. So this is my knee. I have one little bit of scar up here, which I know you guys can't see, and then two big patches here, and then just a little bit of discoloration there. But these will stay with me for life. That is what my knee is going to look like for life. The colour may fade slightly, but it's not going to fade too much. So yeah, that's just how I scar. It's how my blood group works. It's how my body works through the healing process. I'm just trying to get my leggings down because it really hurts. So yeah, we are far from okay, and when you think back through, we very much could have died, both of us. So we're very, very lucky and very, very thankful that we didn't. We've still got each other, we're still keeping each other strong, and I love Andy to bits, and yeah. We've gone through a lot more than what a couple should go through ever, but it's made us stronger and it makes us who we are today. So I hope that clears some things up for you. If you want me to go into detail about like the doctors in Greece and things like that, then go for it, but it's quite a long story, so I don't want to bore you all because I'm pretty sure that most of you would have clicked off by now. If you have stayed, then thank you ever so much for watching. Be sure to like this video, comment down below what you'd like to see next, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!